Bringing sports, entertainment, and technology podcasts together. Bringing sports, entertainment, and technology podcasts together. This is SPNT.
Red vs. Red is brought to you by Stitcher Smart Radio. Download the Stitcher Smart Radio app today at stitcher.com/SPNT. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Red vs. Red. The Premier League currently on an international break, but that doesn't stop us here on the podcast. Glad you could join us alongside my co-host, Mike Smith. I am Nick Serbeling here as we cover Manchester United and the Liverpool Football Club. Each and every week, Mike Smith and I, Mike over in London, talks to us, and we talk some Premier League football. What's happening, Mike? How you been?
I'm good, Nick. Yeah, you're right. Nothing stops us. It takes more than just a week of internationals to stop us, mate. But I'm pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing all right. There's a lot to get to. We'll touch on some of the international stuff. Yank Army last night beat Jamaica 1-0, which is good for us as far as the qualifying goes. England, they drew 1-1 against Ukraine. Probably not their best outing when you consider they were playing at home at Wembley against an inferior opponent, but we'll touch on that and a whole bunch more here on the podcast. Don't forget, you can email us at redversusred@spnt.tv. You can also follow us on Twitter. We are at SPNT_Red versus Red. And we forgot to do this. This might be the first time we actually do it live, Mike. Do you want to call it in the air?
I'm poised. I've got the 2-penny piece. So
you want to flip it?
I'll flip the coin.
All right.
I won last week, so you get the call.
You've won 2 weeks in a row. I'll go tails.
Oh, it's heads.
Wow, you're on a winning streak. That's 3 in a row, Mike.
4-3 now. 4-3. But I'll let you go first, Nick, this week.
Wow, how kind of you. Just to reiterate and refresh everybody's memory, I am a Manchester United fan. Mike, the Liverpool fan, and each week we spend 15 minutes on each team. Mike was kind enough to let me go first, so we'll talk a little Manchester United. And so during the international break, Mike brought it to my attention that Wayne Rooney celebrating 10 years in the Premier League. And Mike had some interesting things to say about Wayne last episode. He wasn't sure if Wayne should be in the starting lineup when he returns from his injury. I think he should. But it's amazing that when you consider how young Rooney still is, relative to some of the other guys in the league, the fact that he's been in the league for 10 years is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, 26. The guy is 26 years old, and he has been playing since the age of 16. Of course, he started at Everton, lest we not forget. He has scored a wonderful goal on his debut against Arsenal. If you haven't seen it, I'd just type in Wayne Rooney, Arsenal, and you'll on YouTube, and you'll certainly find it. And I think for the majority of that career, so I think he's been at United now for 8 years. He scored a hat-trick on his debut, I believe, against Fenerbahce at home. And I think, Nick, as we say over here, the rest is history, really. You can't quite believe that for 18 years old, you spent £27 million upon him. And I wonder how much he's actually paid that back in terms of the trophies he's won, the merchandising behind that, and the sheer joy that he's brought the fans But you have to remember at the same time, when he signed for Manchester United, he was making his debut for England. So he's actually played for 8 years consistently at the top level. And you get, harsh people and somewhat foolish people like myself who are somewhat critical of him, maybe saying that he might not be getting back in the Manchester United first 11. Well, he might be getting back in the first 11 because Robin van Persie limped out of the Holland game last night. But that's kind of besides the point. You have to remember that Wayne Rooney at the top of his game for 10 years. Now, Another player I just want to compare him to. I mean, this is going back 20 odd years or so. Was a guy called Norman Whiteside, who was a Northern Irish international who came onto the scene at Manchester United when he was 16 years old. He made his debut at the World Cup when he was 17 years old. And he scored a goal in the 1986 World Cup, making him the youngest scorer ever until I believe Lionel Messi beat that record about 20 years later. But with the way footballers looked after themselves then, Norman retired at the age of 27. There's no suggestion for me that Wayne Rooney is going to retire at the age of 27 because he's kept himself so fit. I mean, people go on about how stocky and he's tendency to put on weight, but you look at how the way he plays. Does he look like a stocky and overweight footballer to you? I don't think so. And Nick, can you relive your favourite Wayne Rooney moment for us?
Oh man, that is a tough one. I gotta say, there's really only one that comes to mind, and I'll be very honest, Mike. It would be probably the bicycle kick versus Manchester City 2 seasons ago. The overhead kick. It turned out to be the game winner, and it was one of those games where it was a statement game because City was still up and coming, but they thought that they had the goods. But that bicycle kick that Rooney hit in the upper 90 against Joe Hart against City at Old Trafford, to me is the signature moment for Wayne Rooney.
It was that goal was it was a thing of beauty. I mean,
he didn't even hit it right. He hit it with his shin.
But it is still though the actual technique to get to actually kick the ball. It looked like 5 to 6 feet in the air, and to get it perfectly positioned in the way that it beat England's number 1 Joe Hart right in the corner, and to win the game for United as well in a crucial game. Terry Venables likened it to ballet, and do you know what? He said some foolish things at the time to Terry, but I couldn't disagree with him. It was so good. In a recent poll, I think that was actually rated the Premier League's top goal of all time.
Really?
How good it was, that good. Now, there's been plenty of great goals, but that to be voted number 1. That wasn't just by fans; that was by the critics and the pundits and the players themselves. Just tells you what a good player he has been for Manchester United, and you just cannot believe it's been 10 years. That it's going so fast. He's been at the club for so long. I mean, put into perspective. 2 more years, he gets a testimonial. He gets a testimonial at the age of 28. I think that must be some kind of record at Old Trafford. I really do. He did come out recently and say that the worst thing he ever did was ask for a transfer away at Old Trafford at the time. But he seems to have repaid though by, I think he won the title as well the season after though he re-signed his contract.
I think it was the same season. I think that was in 2000. I want to say 2010.
Yeah, but he's come back from any injury and from anything that's happened off the field. He's always come back. Mm-hmm. He has this swagger, like I am the best player. I am the best. You won't. Nothing phases me. Nothing can beat me. I am the best. And as much as it pains me to say him for playing for Manchester United, and he's caused us enough heartache for the years. I have to applaud Wayne Rooney really for being so good and so consistent at the top level. I've already asked you about your favourite Wayne Rooney moment. Can you tell us your least favourite Wayne Rooney moment, just to add a bit of balance to the podcast? Really, has he ever thought that maybe a sending off here or a
Oh man, that is my least favorite Rooney moment. Asking for the transfer was not my most favorite of time with him. I honestly, that would probably be it. There were some games here and there. I want to say might have been in '09.
Okay.
When he was injured and like it really affected their Champions League play. I think that was the year they were knocked out by Bayern Munich, and they rushed him back. Like he had hurt his ankle or his Achilles or something, and they rushed him back, and he was not himself for that Munich leg, and they got knocked out there. But other than that, I mean, really, probably what sticks in my mind is the transfer request. I don't understand why he would defy Sir Alex the way he did with that request. I mean, I guess if you're unhappy, you're unhappy, but there's probably better ways of handling it. Who knows if there was an agent involved? There's always hints of that when it comes to players wanting to leave clubs and that nature. But you're on arguably the best club in football, and there's no reason. You're getting paid a ton of money as it is. There's no reason to leave. I mean, you're on top of the football world. What else is there? What is it that you're going to prove elsewhere? That's what I don't understand. If you go, look at Cristiano Ronaldo now. He left United and he's playing for Real Madrid, and they haven't done anything. They won the league one time. They finally got past Barcelona in the league a year ago. They still haven't done anything in the Champions League. So, to me, I always hear that players regret leaving United after the fact. So I think he made the wise decision and stayed. Of course, Sir Alex had a lot to do with that as well. I'm sure.
Is my next question sort of quite sharp? Does Wayne Rooney get into Manchester United all-time 11?
Oh my goodness!
Consider how many he's won. He's won about 4 titles. He's won a European Cup, and I think he's won a World Club Cup as well.
Yep.
Does that not guarantee him, alongside the greats of Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law, Brian Robson, even I'd Peter Schmeichel, I'd put Gary Neville in that all-time team as well. But did you think he gets in that team straight away?
That's so tough. I mean, if you're taking it by position, so I'm just going to put him at striker.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some names ahead of him that's tough to put him ahead of. I wouldn't put him ahead of Bobby Charlton, not yet.
Or would you have maybe put Cantona? Would Cantona be ahead of Rooney at the moment?
No, I'd go Rooney ahead of Cantona.
Cantona.
But he was. Oh my God! See, this is difficult.
Yeah. I'm a tough guy to to do a podcast with, Nick. I'm not one. I ask the questions that need answering.
If you go with 2 strikers up top, I go Rooney and Charlton, I guess, in your 11, all-time 11. Yeah, I would do it. I mean, he's got 182 goals.
Although Rooney and Cantona would be quite a partnership. They'd be very, very volatile. Be volatile. Be very volatile.
Extremely volatile. I would but I would say Charlton and Rooney. Yeah, I would do it.
Okay, just moving on. United Champions League action coming up fairly shortly. You'll have to remind me who they're playing.
Well, this weekend they've got a tough game against Wigan. This is the same Wigan side that beat them 1-0 down the stretch a year ago, which a lot of people are forgetting because of the Everton 4-4 draw at Old Trafford about this 1-0 loss, which, by the way, this is a 1-0 loss that you spoiled for me a year ago. So they got Wigan on Saturday, and then they play Galatasaray on the 19th. So, but that is at Old Trafford. So they kick off Champions League play against the Turkish side. So yeah, they got the next, and then they have the big game against Liverpool.
Yeah, well, I think we'll leave the Liverpool game for a special.
That's right.
Special red versus red next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're going to make predictions, I think Wigan and Galatasaray. I think United strength and depth, and I think the run they're on at the moment. I think they should easily cruise past those two teams. I'm going to go for. I think they'll beat Wigan 2-0, and I think they'll beat Galatasaray 3-0.
Really?
Old Trafford.
Well, it depends. If Van Persie's hurt,
Galatasaray don't travel well. They don't.
Well.
Turkish teams notoriously don't travel very well away from, especially coming to England. I mean, don't get me wrong. Galatasaray, they'll be up for it. They'll be really, really will. But I just can't see the Turkish league isn't as good as it was going back about 5 or 6 years ago, where the Premier League itself has just better and better since. I think it'll be quite a comfortable win for Manchester United.
Well, you remember a year ago, Benfica came into town, and was it Yeah, it was Benfica. They came in the first game of the Champions League and drew 3-3 with United at Old Trafford. So you never know.
But Benfica had some good players. I mean, they just sold their midfielder Axel Witsel for about £25 million to Zenit St. Petersburg.
I was hoping he'd be a United player.
Why he's gone there though is beyond me. And Javi Garcia's gone to Manchester City as well. He's gone for like £16 million. Cardozo's a good forward. Benfica weren't a bad. Benfica was certainly a better team than Galatasaray are. With Galatasaray, any team which thought Harry Kewell was a great player for them is not going to really alarm you. It's not going to really put the fear of God into Alex Ferguson. I think it'll be absolutely fine.
Well, I was going to say, I'm surprised that you think that they're going to get clean sheets because they have not shown they can defend yet. So if I had to give a prediction for the Wigan and the game against Galatasaray, I'll say they win they beat Wigan. I'll say 4-1. Now that depends a lot on Van Persie. If he doesn't play, you said he limped off in the game last night. If he doesn't play this weekend, that leaves them with Hernandez and Welbeck up top. They sold Berbatov, so they don't have him. They don't have Rooney. Oh, that makes me very nervous. So maybe I'll come back on my prediction. I'll say 2-1 to United. They win against Wigan. And then next week when we record the show, that game against Galatasaray will just be wrapping up. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'll say for a prediction, I'll say 3-1 to United.
3-1. I have the faith. I think you'll keep the clean sheets. I think you'll be 3-0 winners. So I'm sticking by that. And I think even the United midfield will probably come up with a couple of goals. And that's half time.
I sure hope you're right. That's right. It is halftime here on Red versus Red. We're glad you could join us. Don't forget you can email us at redversusred@spnt.tv. You can also check us out live each and every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and 10 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time at spnt.tv/live. We'd love to see you in the chat room. We'd love to talk English football with you, whether it be Liverpool, Manchester United. Heck, we'll even talk to you Chelsea fans, although we may make fun of you a lot. But either way, we'll still talk to you. Throw in some Arsenal Gunners fans as well. We'd love to hear you in the chat room. We'd love to see you. So come join us each and every Wednesday at 5 Eastern and 10 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. Don't forget you can also rate and review the show on iTunes. We'd love to hear your feedback, whether it's good or bad. We've gotten some great reviews so far, so please continue to send those our way. You can either do it via email or Twitter. Mike, is there anything else that we need to get to this week at halftime?
I think we need to go for our shout-outs.
Let's do it. You got a shout-out?
I know no one in particular shout-out, but I'm just going to give it's not really a shout-out. I'll probably approach more upon it in the second part of the show, but I just want to have just a quick sort of moments, just a bit of moments thought for just for the 96 Liverpool fans who sadly passed away at Hillsborough on the 15th of April in 1989.
I'd say that is a very good idea.
Okay.
And I'm sure we'll talk about that here in the next segment when we cover Liverpool. I'll give a shout out to a Manchester United friend or fan that I found on Facebook. His name's Aaron Jeffrey. He's from Florida. And it's pretty cool to see other fans of United here in the States. It's nice to know that I'm not the only one, although I know there are plenty more of them. But it's pretty cool.
I did actually find on Twitter today the Chicago Liverpool Football Club
there you go.
supporters organisation. So if I'm ever in the Windy City, I have been to the Windy City before. I didn't see many Liverpool fans there last time, but if I'm ever there again, I'd certainly know to go for a bit, go out with a beer with, and talk all about Liverpool Football Club with, as well as mocking them, the Chicago Cubs.
And the Bears. You can mock all you want.
I don't think we can mock the Bears after the Bears' performance. I think the Bears are looking good, damn good this year.
Hey, easy enough. This is a soccer podcast. A English football podcast. And but yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts. We'd love to hear your feedback. So please send us your emails. Red versus Red at spnt.tv. It's the second half of Red versus Red, which means we talk Liverpool with Mike Smith.
Yeah, as again, due to international break, no games for Liverpool. Highlights international break, Steven Gerrard put in a man of the match performance against Ukraine, only to be denied his man of the match performance with being sent off for a second yellow card in the game. England won the first qualifier 5-0 away to perennial powerhouse Moldova. They drew their next game at home to Eastern European giant Ukraine.
Can I ask you a quick question, Mike? Let me ask you a quick question. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to 606 today, which was just yesterday's podcast of everybody calling in after England's game against the Ukraine. And everybody is angry. What is there to be angry about? It's not like you lost, but again, is it because it was did they play badly? Like Alan Green made it sound like they played awful.
There just wasn't the invention, I guess, and unfortunately, with the English mindset, if England don't go into half-time leading, it's more like sheer panic sets in amongst the fans, and I think the media also feed off that as well. I'm not blaming the media for 1 second for reporting how they see the game, but I do think that the fans do panic, over situations which aren't really that bad. You got to look at it this way. We won our first game away 5-0. Okay, we've drawn our home game, and then arguably on paper, yes, England maybe should have done better, should have won, but that's 4 points from two games. Hell, I'd have taken that to begin with. Anyone who thinks that going into those two games, coming away expecting 6 points, is deluded. Is completely deluded. This Ukraine team very, very, very nearly beat England at the European Championships. It wasn't for a disallowed goal, which some days should have been given, and other days would have been given. England would have been going home from that tournament, as we all expected at the group stage. I think England had plenty of the Ukraine came up with a plan, and that was to steal a goal and defend, and England just fell straight into their hands. It doesn't help that England had a number of injuries leading up to the game, like Andy Carroll being injured as well. And I thought a number of players as well were placed out of position who aren't ready for international football. Tom Cleverley, for example, he's played. This is his second season of full first team 11 football. He's had previous experience at Wigan and now at Manchester United. He needs another season or two at United before he should even be considered to be an international player. It's the same with Oxlade-Chamberlain at Arsenal. We even called up Raheem Sterling, who's 17 years old. These players don't have the experience, don't have the thought yet to even contemplate to play into international football. Yeah, you get the odd, spark like Michael Owen or Wayne Rooney. The two things have in common that they came from the best two clubs who produce football in the world, young footballers in the world, in Liverpool and Everton. So they have that distinct advantage straight away. But they were the flare-ups. It very, very rarely occurs for any other player to come in at such a young age and then play well. And the goal which Ukraine scored as well was absolutely fantastic, and I think it really took England by surprise. But I'm not concerned. I still think we'll qualify easily enough from the group. We're just going to have to possibly, win more games. And I've got to say to the fans, what do you expect from Roy Hodgson? For crying out loud! What
that was my next question.
Yeah.
Like, why is everybody so? I like Roy. I thought he did a great job at West Brom. I thought he did a great job at Fulham. You guys at Liverpool never gave him a chance. You never gave him a chance.
We didn't give him a chance because he came out to the media and he very much had he very much told us what do you expect from going away from Man City? How can you expect to come away from Man City with a point? You can't say that if you're Liverpool manager. You can't have that attitude reverberating through the club. And I think also he defended Hicks and Gillette as well, which never ever went down very well.
That one I'll give you.
That he never, and I think from then it was very much Roy was doomed, and he got his £8 million payout for being sacked 6 months into a 3-year contract. So I think Liverpool got all they want, and Roy certainly got 8 million reasons to want to be fired from Liverpool. But
I feel bad for him because he left a Fulham team that they had played in the Europa League final. I mean, he did some good things with Fulham.
He did some terrific things with Fulham, and he was the ideal candidate for Fulham. And I'll give him his credit. He did a fantastic job at West Brom. I will say that Roy does leave clubs, and he doesn't leave them in complete dire straits. He might any club which you perceive as a smaller club, he certainly leaves them in a better position when he left them. Take Fulham, for example. He left them in a very good position, and he left West Brom. And look at look at what West Brom are doing in the league at the moment. With England, yes, he's 60. He's coming on to 65. It is his time to be the manager of England, but I just don't. The supporters just shouldn't expect England to go in there and win a game automatically.
Right.
We have no right. We have no divine right to. Spain only beat Georgia with a last-minute goal last night. Last night as well. Lest we forget, Germany very nearly lost to Austria 2-1. International football is not about going there because we have the best. We have the Premier League with the best player. We have on paper we have great players.
Right.
It's about being a cohesive unit and fighting until the end. That's what it's all about. Is nicking those last minute winners like you do in the league. In the league, I'm not disappointed. I think it's just typical England. Really, we'll be at the tournament. Don't worry about it. Be worried about how many injuries your players picked up during the actual games themselves, and what's going to happen when they come back to their club form, i.e. Van Persie at Manchester United. Steven Gerrard got himself sent off, and he'll miss the game against San Marino, which we all should be really worried about if you're an England fan. But he'll be back for the following game, which I think is against Poland, and maybe
That'll
that's
be a good
the game
game.
England really need to win. As I just mentioned in the halftime report, today has been quite an emotional day for Liverpool fans around the world, where the Hillsborough independent panel was concluded today, and it released its findings into the disaster. Now, what the panel has done has been documents have been released which weren't released previously, has been under wraps for 23 years, and some of the findings they've made today in the report have been quite frankly shocking. Now, it'd be very easy for me to start wheeling out and stating who should be punished and what should happen next in terms of legal proceedings, but today was all about finding out finally for those families of the 96 people who died what exactly happened on that day 23 years ago. And I applaud the panel for their findings and the way it's been written, and I applaud the dignity of the families as well. For 23 years they've been fighting to find out what happened to their loved ones on that day. And I just want to spread the word to Liverpool fans out there. There's nothing to be ashamed of. The fans that day They did nothing wrong. The report, if anything, it brings them into the most positive light possible, how they were helping those who were injured, distressed. They were even like consoling those whose friends, family had died next to them. If you want any more information about the Hillsborough disaster, the best place to go forward is the Liverpool Football Club website, liverpoolfc.com. Secondly, there's the Hillsborough Justice Campaign. They can be found at hillsboroughjusticecampaign.com. Also, in addition, there's the British government website, which is just direct.gov.uk, which contains the report. They have everything you need to know about a disaster, where you can, if you're not a Liverpool fan, you can read more about it, you can come to your own conclusions, and you see what exactly happened upon that day. All they ask for now, I think, is respectfully that the families are left alone, and that they're allowed to continue their grieving, because it's brought up painful memories from what happened 23 years ago. They're left alone now, and that hopefully this draws a line, and we can all live, those families, yourself and the club, can get back to what we need to think about, and that's what goes on the pitch as opposed to what goes on off the pitch. And personally, between me and you, Nick, I know Liverpool have got a game away against Anzi Makachkala in Russia, which I'll go on to in a moment, and Sunderland away. The prospect of playing Manchester United in less than 2 weeks, the first home game of Anfield after the inquest, it's going to be emotional. It's going to be so... I can't wait. I'm really G'd up about this. I think that it's going to be an absolutely fantastic day. As I'm already talking about it 2 weeks ahead. I want to know what your thoughts are already 2 weeks ahead. Are you making plans already for the day?
It's not even 2 weeks, is it? Isn't it just a week from Saturday? It's the 23rd.
Yeah, it's less than a week. It's a week from Saturday. Are you making plans already? Are you going to have like an early morning party over there in SPNT studios, or invite friends around, or?
No, I'll probably just watch the game from the comfort of my basement. That game is on a Sunday, so that day the Bengals will be playing the Washington Redskins. So I'll have that. So I'll have a double dose of football that day. My wife is gonna love me on the 23rd. Let's just get that out there. No special plans, but I do plan on getting on Skype after the game to talk some more trash to you, though.
Oh, well, trash about you. Trash about how United were robbed. The referee did this. It was a penalty. This, that, the other.
Hey, all I gotta say is last year, if Ryan Giggs doesn't move out of the wall, we beat you 1-0.
Yeah, but Ryan Giggs, talk about team player, not taking one for the team. That's just pathetic, really, isn't it?
Hey, whatever.
Is that the best you've got? Kind of.
And the last time United played at Anfield, was that the famed? No, I don't think that's true, because we played you in the FA Cup there, didn't we?
Yeah, the last league game at Anfield was the moment where Suarez had a quiet moment in everybody's ear. So
oops.
Yeah, that would be tasty. That would be tasty.
Yeah, I'm sure the cop will be fired up.
Liverpool, away in Europa League, travel to Russia. They're playing Anzi Makachkala, but we're not going to Makachkala because Makachkala is in the Russian Republic of Dagestan, which is which I believe is on the British Foreign Office website as a no-go zone for British travellers. It's next to Chechnya. There's plenty of. It's meant to be quite a bit of a terrorist hotspot. So the game is being played in Russia. Incidentally, Makachkala all the players train and live in Moscow, where it's 1,000 miles away from Makachkala, which is in southern Russia. The game's going to be played in Moscow. Liverpool have never played them before. Makachkala boasts Samuel Eto'o. He plays for them. I think Roberto Carlos may still play for them, but he may have moved on. They have a 6'8" forward in Lassina Traore, who's going to be interesting to see what he does in that day. That's about as much as I know about Makachkala, other than that they play in yellow. Liverpool, it's going to be interesting to see what squad Rodgers puts out, because we haven't got that many centre forwards, and the prospect of going away to Russia and then playing a game at home to United doesn't really fill me with the greatest of hope. So I wouldn't expect Liverpool. I'm expecting Liverpool to come away with at best maybe a 1-1 draw in that game. But I do expect us to finally register that first Rodgers win and get a 2-1 win over Sunderland in the next Barclays Premier. Yep, I think we're going to do it. I think this is it. I think we're going to do it.
Is the game at Anfield or is it up north?
It's the Stadium of Light.
Ooh, they're tough there. They're very tough there.
I think we can do it. I'm backing my lads all the way. I'm backing them.
Well, I hope you're right. Well, no, I don't. I don't hope you're right.
just one more question, Nick.
Bring it.
I don't know if it's been broadcast yet. Has being Liverpool being broadcast yet?
Yes, it was on. It's been on Fox Sports Soccer here, or Fox Soccer. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch it. I should have set the DVR and I didn't. But yeah, it's been on TV here.
Yeah, I was wondering. It's going to be broadcast here, but it's not been broadcast yet. How is it perceived in the United States?
Well, I mean, Liverpool's got a huge fan base here. I mean, they're a worldwide. I mean, you know how it is. They are a huge club in world football. But as far as the documentary goes, I'm not sure. But I'm glad you said something, because I'm going to set the DVR and watch it. Even though I don't like Liverpool, I'm a Red Devil through and through. But I'll still tune in. Yeah. I mean, hey, why not?
Good. Okay, I think that wraps it up this week.
Well, we're in stoppage time. Is there anything else we need to talk about? We've got like 2.5 minutes to fill here, Mike.
2.5 minutes.
Check us out on iTunes. Leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, this is a proper international football. There is nothing that happens. There's nothing interesting.
We can talk about the United States. Hey, they won 1-0 last night in a game against Jamaica. Their keeper, I can't remember his name. I want to say Zach Martin, had 3 fantastic saves in the first half. They were brilliant saves. And he was also saved by the woodwork 3 times as well. And then in the second half, Hercules Gomez, off of a free kick, hits what is, to me, seemed to be a very easy kick to save, and he whiffed. He hit it, but it went right in the net, and I was shocked. It was the easiest save of the night for him by far, but it still managed to go in the net. And because of that, now with the win, the United States on 7 points and a goal differential of 2 go from 3rd in the group up to the top.
Woo! That's good. USA.
Gotta love CONCACAF, which, by the way, the game last night on September 11th as well. You talked about Hillsborough being a special day for Liverpool fans, and I shouldn't say special, but a memorable day. And here, that was our day too.
I'm surprised they played the game that day, because Liverpool don't play April 15th, which is the anniversary of Hillsborough.
It's odd. It's I thought about that too. I was like, because I remember there being a big debate about Liverpool playing. I want to say it was there was a game a year ago or something where they had to reschedule it, and for some reason here in the States they prefer playing those games because it gives people a chance to be with friends and family and that sort of thing.
Okay. I guess it's each to their own. Really, each to their own. Really. I think didn't the Giants and the NFL Giants Jets play on the 10th anniversary?
I think they did. Yeah.
I think they did, didn't they?
Well,
but hey. I want to pass out my condolences and and to the families who lost one loved one during on 9/11 as well. But we must never forget what happened that day as well.
Absolutely, and that is a good way to end it. It's red versus red here at SPNT. For Mike Smith, I'm Nick Serbeling. We'll see you next week.